Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Curtis, and today I'm going to do a review for Sistas Season 9, Episode 13. Alright, y'all, before we get started, I just want to let you all know that I accidentally broke my phone mount, so I do have my phone set up a little bit weird. So if you see me looking here, I'm looking directly at the camera, and if you see me looking right here, I'm looking at my notes. So I just want to let you all know, just in case you wonder, like, why is he looking here? Why is he looking here? That's the reason why. The episode starts off with Andy, Danny, and Sabrina. They're getting ready to go into Karen's apartment, but then they see Officer Green, who actually just left Karen's apartment. And they're just like, "Oh, you got here before us?" And he's like, "Yeah, you know, I came out because I heard about what was going on." And he lets them know that if we do not get any information on Karen soon, within the next couple of hours, we will have to issue an Amber Alert. Officer Green asked the ladies if Karen was acting suspicious, like if she did anything up to that point that made them feel like she was on the verge of doing what she's doing right now. And they're just like, no, I don't believe so. I mean, she was in the hospital. Unfortunately, she did lose a child, but she did end up giving birth to one. As far as the birth that she gave to the one child, she has been a little, withdrawn, but we feel like that can be kind of like postpartum. We don't feel like it's anything that's suspicious or anything that could have led up to this point. We just feel like she's dealing with something that women who are going through postpartum deal with. Andy brings up the cryptic note that Karen left, and the officer, he's just like, you know what? Normally, when people leave notes like that, that is an indication that they are thinking about committing suicide, or is something that indicates that by the time that we read the letter, that they may have already committed suicide. So, of course, they're just like, oh my God. We flash over to Fatima's house. Remember, she received a call from an unknown number in the middle of the night. So she's just like, hello. And the person online says, it's Karen. She's like, Karen? And then Karen's just like, shh, be quiet. I do not want anybody to know that you're on the phone with me. So she's just like, okay, like, what's going on? What's happening? Like, are you okay? Are you at home? Are you with the baby? Like, what exactly is going on? Karen is just like, look, I can't really talk about it right now. I really cannot explain it. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to send you a text message. It's going to have the address to where I am. I need you to come. I need you to come alone. Do not tell Zach. This is not Zach's business. Just please promise me that you will come. And then she hangs up. So remember, Karen told Fatima to not tell Zach. This is not Zach's business. And what is the first thing that Fatima does? She jumps out of bed and she starts calling for Zach. She's like, Zach, Zach, Zach. She rushes downstairs and she sees that Zach is not there. So she's like, where the hell is he? So she actually gets her phone out. She calls Zach. She's like, Zach, where are you? And he's like, oh, I'm actually at Karen's house. And so, of course, for Fatima, she's probably like, wait a minute, hold on. Karen just called me out of the blue from an unknown number talking about she's at this random location, sending me an address through text. Then I call Zach. He tells me that he's over at Karen's house. Like, what the fuck is going on? So she's like, what exactly is happening? And he's just like, listen, before you get yourself amped up, Karen is missing, Faith is missing. They called me and they said that they are missing. So I just rushed over here just to see what was going on. And she's like, why didn't you tell me? Like, why didn't you wake me up so we can go together? He was like, did you forget that I'm on couch duty? And she was just like, and that means what to me in this moment? He was like, listen, I did not want to worry you. And she's like, so you did not want to worry me. So what you did was you actually left in the middle of the night without telling me. Now I'm in a situation where I'm trying to figure out where you are, but you didn't want to worry me. And I was just like, okay, Fatima, listen, I understand that you were upset that he left in the middle of the night, but this is not the time for this bullshit. Like, you two can argue a little bit later. Like, did you not hear? And he actually brought this up. Was like, did you not hear the fact that Karen and her daughter are missing? That needs to be the focus right now. We can argue and go back and forth a little bit later. He asked Fatima if Karen has popped up. He was like, Karen, she likes to pop up every now and then. So has she popped up? And Fatima, she does not answer at first because she's trying to keep this secret that Karen actually called her. So he asked her again, and she's like, no, 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 she did not pop up. And he was like, well, if she does pop up, call me and let me know so we can handle it from there. But just let me know if she pops up. And she's like, okay, cool. And speaking of Karen, we actually see Karen. So Karen, she's in a support group and she's talking to a group of ladies and she's just pretty much saying, you know what? When I look in the mirror, I honestly do not recognize myself. I feel like I'm looking at a stranger. When it comes to my daughter, I really love her. I really, really do. But I'm afraid to hold her for too long because one, I feel like I'm going to break. And two, I feel like she's going to see me and she's going to realize that I'm broken. And that's not something that I want right now. While Karen is talking to the group, the camera actually pans over and we can see Fatima. Fatima's actually arrived and you can tell that she feels really bad about, what's going on with Karen. And then it pans back over to the group and we see that the person who is leading the group says, you know what, Karen, I just want to let you know that you are not broken. You are just simply healing. Once the session is over, Fatima, she actually walks over to where Karen is. She actually sits down next to her And she's like, what's going on? Like, what is this place? And she says that this is a support group. And she says that the reason why she came to the support group is because she felt like she was drowning. She felt like her world was caving in. She felt like she was at her wit's end. So she needed to come to a group where people would be able to support her without any type of judgment. And as far as the name of the support group is actually called Forever Great Circle, which of course, her daughter, well, her other child, I'm sorry, name was supposed to be Forever. So you can see that connection right there. Karen goes on to say that when she woke up that morning, she just expected things to be different. She thought that she'll just come out, she'll pick her daughter up, and everything will be great, it'll be wonderful, that she will have her mother and instincts, and everything will just go well, but unfortunately did not. Everything fell apart. It was pretty much how it had been before, and she couldn't take it anymore. So what she decided to do was to pack her bags, grab her baby, and just leave. And I was just like, hold on for a second, Karen. Let's have a little conversation for a second, okay? So when it comes to going to a support group to talk to people about what you're going through in regards to postpartum, losing your child, I completely understand that. But the problem that I have is when you just leave in the middle of the night, take your daughter, and not let anybody know, especially when we consider the fact that you have already had issues bonding with your child to begin with, okay? This isn't something where only like a few people have seen it. I think at this point, everybody pretty much knows what's going on between you and your child as far as you being distant, being withdrawn. So the fact that you just left in the middle of the night without telling anybody, especially the father, that is where we have an issue here because based on your note, people will assume that you will have done something to yourself or done something to your child. And so I just felt like that was unacceptable. I felt like it was wrong. And there isn't anything that she can say to justify that, in my opinion. And Fatima, you can tell she feels the same exact way that I did. And so she's just like, look, I'm going to be honest with you. I spoke to Zach. Karen is like, I thought I told you not to say anything. She's like, yeah, you know what, I'm sorry, but I spoke to Zach. And he said that Danny, Sabrina, Andy, your mom, Aaron, everybody is scared. Everybody's worried because they feel like you did something to yourself, feel like you did something to the baby because they saw your note. And based on the note, they just felt like something bad happened. And then Karen's like, oh my God, that's not what I meant to happen. I'm so sorry. Like, I was just sharing my thoughts and my opinions. I just wrote down what I was thinking at the time. I didn't want anybody to think that I would do something to myself or to my baby. She asked Fatima if they have called the police, and she's like, yes, they called the police because, like I said, based on your note, they just felt like you may have done something to yourself or done something to the baby. So she's just like, oh God, this is just too much. Like, this is not what I expected to happen. And so the two of them, they continue to have their conversation. And Fatima finally asked the question I think everybody wanted to know, like, why did you choose me? Like, why did you call me instead of calling the other ladies or calling your mom? Like, why did you call me? And she said, well, the reason why I called you is because I felt like you would not judge me. Like, if I called the other ladies, it'll be all of this judgment. I would have all of these conversations trying to figure out while I was doing what I was doing. Whereas with you, I felt like you just would not judge me. You would kind of understand where I was coming from. And then I can just kind of talk to you, have a conversation, and get everything off of my chest. So after this scene, we actually flash forward a little bit and we actually see Fatima and Karen. They actually walk into Karen's house. And then, of course, everybody's just so relieved, like, oh my God, she's alive, the baby's alive. And so Aaron actually rushes up to her. It's like, oh my God, are you okay? Is Faith okay? And she's like, yes, I'm okay. The baby's okay. And he actually grabs the baby from her. And then Fatima walks over to Zach, and Zach, he's trying to pick an argument. He was like, look, I thought I told you to tell me if she popped up. And Fatima's like, well, she did not pop up. He was like, well, explain how you two just walked in the door together. And I was just like, Zach, similar to what I was saying to Fatima earlier, not the time, not the place. This argument can wait. Calm down. Sabrina brings up the note that Karen wrote, and Karen's just like, look, I was just sharing my thoughts and opinions on that note. I did not mean for anybody to actually read it. It was just something that I wrote down in the moment because that's how I felt. Lisa and Danny asked her, where did she go? She says that she went to a support group. And Andy was like, wait a minute, hold on for a second. So you mean to tell me that you had us confused and concerned so you can go talk to some people in some fucking support group? And I said, wait a damn minute. Andy, what is going on here? Where is this energy coming from? Because listen, when Andy was doing all of this with Fatima, I didn't really have an issue with it because Fatima was fucking up at work. She was so busy trying to do stuff with Chaz, trying to do all of these side quests, that she was fucking up with her actual job. So I wasn't really tripping about the way that she was treating Fatima. But when it comes to Karen in this moment, like, we do not need all of this judgment in this particular moment right now. Like, this isn't even something of like genuine concern. This is more, like I said, like judgment. Like, she's kind of talking to her like she's her child or something. Like, Lisa is right there. Like, calm down, Andy. Relax. Stop it. Karen is just like, look, Andy, I wouldn't expect you to understand because she already knew what kind of shit that Andy was going to be on. And so her mom was like, well, you know what? You really could have texted us. Like, you could have told us something, which she could have. So, I mean, listen, Andy is right to be frustrated at Karen for not, acknowledging what was going on, letting people know what was happening. But I just felt like her energy was just off. It was just off to me. Karen tells the group that it's not always the easiest to relate information to them. Like sometimes there's a lot of judgment, sometimes people are busy, sometimes people are not really trying to see it from her perspective. They may be in there like kumbaya, like they just want peace, but sometimes she may just want war. So she just needs to talk to people who can relate to what she's going through in the moment, and that's something that she can get within her support group, not within this sister circle. She then lets the group know that she actually reached out to Fatima. She called her like, hey, can you please come down? Fatima came. They were able to have a conversation. They're a little bit closer now. And then here comes Andy. She was like, well, if you would have reached out to any of us, and this, of course, is excluding Fatima, like if you would have reached out to any of us, we definitely would have been there for you. You do understand that, right? And I was just like, Andy, stop it. Karen's like, you know what? I know that, and I appreciate it. But when it comes to Fatima, I feel like we have developed some type of bond. I feel like I can trust her now, so why not? So Andy's just like, And so Karen, you can tell that she can see that Andy's going to be on some bullshit. So she's like, you know what? Let me tell her some stuff to kind of calm her down. So she's like, I feel like you should reach out to some of the women in my support group. And she's like, and why would I do that? She was like, well, two of the ladies in the group, they were actually patients of Dr. Cruz. So if you can reach out to them, maybe they can help you with your case. And so Andy, of course, is like, oh, that is great. That's wonderful. I'm like, yeah, calm the fuck down, Andy. After Karen gives Andy this information, everyone ends up leaving, other than Aaron and Karen, of course. And so Aaron is like, you know what, you really scared me. And she's like, you know what, I'm sorry, I apologize. I just had to do this on my own. And he's like, you do not have to do this on your own. Like, I'm here. And then he ends up saying, you know what, I'm just glad that you and the baby are okay. All right, y'all. So after this, there were a couple of quick scenes. So you all know how I do. I try to group them together just to make it easier to talk about. So in the first scene, it becomes quite clear that Tony is developing a gambling addiction. So he's doing the online gambling on like DraftKings or something on sports. And so that is something to be mindful about, especially when we find out what Danny is thinking about doing a little bit later. In the second scene, Zach and Fatima they get into an argument about Zach leaving in the middle of the night, about Chaz buying Fatima an expensive gift, about Chaz coming over to the house, and nothing is really resolved. Which I'm starting to notice when it comes to sisters, they do not really resolve issues that much when it comes to Zach and Fatima. Whereas on Fatima, it seems like they go through something traumatic and then they are able to just resolve it and move on. I wish they would implement that on Sistas as well. In the third scene, Sabrina, Danny, they have a conversation, and Sabrina basically makes a promise to Danny that she will not see her cousin again. But we end up finding out later that that is not the case. Apparently, the dick was that good that she feels like she needs to keep seeing him, even though he lied to her. And it's also important to note that in this scene, and this is going to go back to what Tony, I remember I was telling you that he has like a gambling addiction. So Danny says that she's going to take the money that she got from the settlement and she's going to put it in her mattress. And I said, in her mattress? What kind of shit is this? Like, this is not back in the day. But she said that she's going to put it in her mattress because she feels like it's a safe place. But I'm just like, I don't know. Your man is out here gambling his money away, so I'm not really sure you want to do that. After this, we go to the office. We see Fatima. We see Andy. Fatima, she was able to get in contact with the ladies who were at the support group. She was able to get their names, able to get their emails. And so Andy's like, you know what, this is really good, but I do not feel like this is enough to convince Benson, so we may need a little bit more. And Fatima's just like, this is ridiculous. We should not need all of this to justify a case against this man. And then it became a little awkward. It was like this weird kind of silence. Like you could tell like somebody wanted to say something, but they didn't know how to kind of say it. And then Andy kind of brought up Karen. And then Fatima was like, well, you know what? When Karen originally reached out to me, I thought that she was trying to set me up. And I think that is kind of funny. But she was like, I thought that she was trying to set me up, maybe trying to get me jumped. But it turned out that that wasn't the case. She actually invited me to her support group. I went there, I talked to her, had a conversation, brought her to the house, and everything turned out great. Andy is just like, it's just very unexpected. And now Fatima's like, oh my God, like this is weird, this is awkward. Like, I need to figure out a way to go to this office. And she's like, you know what I'm going to do, I'm going to finish up the paperwork. And you know what, text me your order so I can get that free lunch. Okay, all right, bye. And then she rushes out. I was like, smooth. After this, we go back to Karen's house, and y'all, Karen, she just walks into the kitchen as if nothing has just happened. Like she's just lollygagging, like everything's just cool, everything is fine. Aaron is leaned up against the refrigerator, just looking at her, and she's like, "Oh, you didn't make any coffee? I would like to have something hot." And he's like, "Coffee?" So we're not going to have a conversation about what happened the other day, about the fact that you just took my daughter without telling me. And she's just like, "Oh my God, you want to talk about that again?" I said, "Again? Excuse me?" Karen is just like, "Look, we already had a conversation about this before we went to bed last night. You were fine. You slept like a baby. There was not any issue. So why is there an issue right now?" And he's like, "Actually, correction. I did not sleep at all last night. Like, I was worried about everything that happened. I could not sleep last night." She tells him that she did not mean to hurt him. And he's just like, "Look, regardless if you meant it or not, you did. You took our daughter without telling me. You left a cryptic note. You made me think that you did something to yourself, did something to her daughter. You did not tell me anything. You act as if I do not exist. You act like I'm invisible. You act as if I do not matter, and I do not like that shit. Like, that's not going to work for me." She tells him that she is alone in this. And y'all, did y'all see Aaron's face? He said, "I know the fuck you did not just say that, y'all." I want you all to go back, watch the episode, and look at Aaron's face. That look was just like, "I know the fuck you did not just say that shit to my face right now." He was pissed. No, he was floored. Aaron is just like, "How can you sit up here and say that you are doing this on your own, that you are doing this by yourself, when I've been here every day holding everything down, like while you've been in this make believe fantasy world? Like I've been here doing everything that I can for this family, and you treat me as if I'm nothing, as if I'm not even here. Like, what is that about?" And real quick, when I previously mentioned, her living in Fantasyland, I do not want to downplay what women go through. When it comes to postpartum or losing a child, I'm just talking in context of the conversation that they were having, but in no way, shape, or form am I trying to talk down on women who have experienced such trauma. I just wanted to put that out there. Karen tells him that she did not ask for this. She did not ask to feel like this. She doesn't know how to fix it. Like, she's never gone through this. She doesn't know how to get through it. This is her first time dealing with this, so she doesn't know how to fix it. And he's like, "Listen, I'm not asking you to fix anything. I'm just asking you to allow me in so I can help you on this journey. That's it." All right, y'all. I had to do a quick wardrobe change. That's why I have on a different shirt, but I'm just going to try to get this finished as quick as I can. So Erin asked her, what does she want? She says that she feels like it may be time for a change. When she said that she feels like it's time for a change, I thought that she was going to say that she wanted to break up with Erin, to be honest. But she says that she feels like it may be time for her to leave Atlanta. So I was thinking to myself, like, okay, are you saying that you want to leave Atlanta? Or are you saying that you're getting ready to leave the show? I need answers. And that was the end of the episode. It was very heavy, it was very somber. But I mean, if you look at the episodes, once Karen found out that her baby was a stillborn, from there up to this point, it kind of led up there. So I guess we can kind of say that we saw it coming. But I do want you all to please, like, comment, share, subscribe. I would really appreciate it. I will see you all in the next review. You have a great rest of your day. Bye.